The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today.
Hey, this is Rev from the Drowns, and if you still believe in rock and roll, then keep the dial set here at the Struggling Artist Podcast.
You're listening to the Struggling Artist Podcast.
People need to be entertained. They need the distraction.
With your host, Trev Allen.
I wish to God that somebody would do something to block out the voices in my head for 5 minutes.
Many years ago when I was a teenager, my band and I were playing a show in a very sketchy bar we should not have been in, we should not have driven 5 hours to, and there was no one there really except the bartenders drinking with the other bartenders who were off work. And I did something interesting. I gambled on a game of Jenga, and I won. Fuck yeah.
Check. Listen.
All right. Good morning, good evening, good day. Welcome back to the Underground Noise. This is your friendly neighborhood musical forager and coffin salesman Aria Rad here to present to you another new episode of Music Discussion. And I can't believe it. We made it all the way to 2026. That's right. 1 full year of me talking to myself, talking to you about something I'm very passionate about, independent art and music. And the first item on the docket I want to bring up is the brand new single from Nashville hardcore band Bazooka Tooth. The song is called Blue Shell. And this is a band I've been following for a little while. We actually played a show together in 2018 in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, in the back of a used video game store. And they stood out to me as one of the more interesting bands of that whole journey. And over time, they've gotten a lot more abrasive and just heavy. Their last EP definitely leaned a lot more metallic and into some like metalcore kind of influences. And this one kind of gets back to more of the speedy, blistering hardcore punk pace. And it's really killer. Let's play a little bit of it so you see what I mean. Hell yeah. And that's off their new EP called DMCK coming out February 13th. So definitely keep your eyes peeled. And while we're talking about hardcore, thrash, aggressive music, I would be remiss if I did not mention that Boston's very own Sky Tigers are releasing their new record entitled Injustice for All. It comes out next month on February 6th, and they're doing a record release for that show with Tree and Hell Beach, and that's happening at Deep Cuts on February 11th. So, yeah, it's good to hear Sky Tigers back in the saddle. I think their last record was in 2020, so it's been a while, but they still make the kind of shit that makes you want to jump off a stage, you know? And life really is all about balance. And so one of the things I've been listening to balance all the hardcore and heavy in my diet is the new single from Grace Giverts. Grace is a Boston-based folk singer-songwriter, multi-instrumentalist, and she's coming out with her second album entitled Midnight Feature in March. The title track is available everywhere now, and it's really cool because it starts with a very subdued and longing kind of mood and builds into this very elaborate orchestration that just kind of is amazing and kind of carries you away in a very sort of sentimental way. It's really beautiful track. Let me play a little bit of it for you right now. Yeah, wonderful track, wonderful orchestration, wonderful production, wonderful harmonies. And she's doing a record release show at the Capitol Theater, the historic Capitol Movie Theater and more in Arlington, Massachusetts, March 13th. So be sure to check it out. It's not very often you get to see something in a cool environment like that. And while we're talking singer-songwriters, I want to show some love to the new single from Jared Hart called Ready to Go. Jared Hart, New Jersey singer-songwriter. You may know him from bands like Mercy Union or The Scandals or his long-running solo work at this point. And a lot of his songwriting has this sort of emotional longing, a sort of sentimentality to it that really cuts, especially with his vocal stylings. And what's cool about this song is he pairs up with Ben Nichols of Lucero fame, who delivers a verse on here, but Jared's high vocal carries with him throughout in a really interesting way, I thought. And on top of that, as I was listening through, when you get to the back half of the track, there's this interesting spoken word section. And I'm always interested the source material of stuff like that. Like a lot of people use obscure film or radio excerpts to kind of elevate the mood of the track. But as I was reading up on it, I noticed that this segment was written specifically for this track. It's by New York-based author Misha Perlman, who also reads the excerpt, and it fits beautifully into the track. I love that kind of intentionality, and especially now where we're living in the day and age where people will play Midwest emo riffs over any like generic car commercial and make it sound completely tragic. It's nice when someone is focused on the art and not just the aesthetic trappings.
I'm not ready to go.
So yeah, very big mood, which is a good transition to this next artist I want to talk about. It's the band Lesotho from Boston. So Lesotho is an instrumental post-rock, post-metal band, and they just announced their new album entitled A Flashing on Plain Glass that's due out in March. The first song released is called Fetch Quest. And what I really love about this band, and really stood out to me the first time I saw them, is that they're a three-piece, playing this incredibly atmospheric, heavy, moving music. And what I think is great about that is a small group is very in tune with each other, and it gives all the instruments sort of space to breathe, especially in instrumental music, which can very easily get crowded or complicated. But everything sort of sits really nice in the mix. You can hear bass very, very clearly. You can hear the guitar parts perfectly. You can hear the drums moving everything along. The production's really wonderful. I'm really excited to hear the whole thing. Really an amazing band. And in a genre that can feel pretty crowded, they definitely stand out to me. You know, sometimes we just need some good feeling rock and roll. And the new record from Slow Ann entitled Cubs Scout, not Cub Scouts, but Cubs Scout. Shit, that fucking just twists my brain. I'm sorry. I did Cub Scouts when I was a child. It was not that great of an experience. And I don't really remember much, but I remember kids who stayed on into Boy Scouts really just did it so they could have a sleepover on a boat and also eventually shoot guns. But anyway, Slow Ann calls themselves slacker rock and roll, waxing alt country, and that just fucking fits perfectly. They have that sort of cheeky, thick, grungy 90s pop that sort of surrounds like their core sound, and then there's like some cool twangy stuff like interspersed. I really love it. Really fun record. Definitely worth checking out when you're just going on a nice fucking sunny drive when the winter's over or some shit. Yeah, you know me. I love twang of almost every variety. Evil twang, lonesome twang, desperate twang. anywhere you want to put it, I'm probably going to like it. And I have a confession to make. My close friends know this about me, but I'm not sure if this is really public information. But usually when I'm leaving band practice and I've been like beating my head around for like 2 hours, whatever the fuck we do there, when I'm driving home, usually I'll listen to pop country radio. Not country radio, not like, I know everyone's like, oh, country music's like actually good, that old school like outlaw stuff, like I love Waylon Jennings, whatever. No, I'm listening to like bottom barrel, like manufactured radio country on the way home, and I'm analyzing it and I'm thinking about it, and I'm thinking about the boardroom of songwriters that like assembled whatever this is, and eventually I'll write a long analysis about what I think it all means paradoxically in American culture. But in the meantime, we have good music like Slow Ann that we can be listening to. And another good band sort of in the jangle family, I would say, is Good Judgment. So I saw Good Judgment about a year ago, and the songwriting and the delivery and everything just really struck me. It was like a really awesome show. And they have a new record out called Cradle Your Head. And what's cool about it is it has these sort of lo-fi fuzzy guitars and that similar approach kind of in the drums and bass, but the vocals are like clear as day in the mix, and they really pop and shine through. The songs are really endearing and enjoyable to listen to, and definitely a wonderful record to check out. So the next record surprised me a little in a very good way. It's Afterlife, the new album by Miles Bullen, and I've seen Miles on like lots of flyers like when I'm looking around, but I knew very little about them. And so Miles is an underground hip-hop and folk punk artist, and when you listen to the record, it makes sense why the music fits beautifully in both those worlds. It's very reminiscent to me of like 90s, early 2000s hip-hop that's like very melodic, very chorus-heavy, and like the writing on the record is very emotionally powerful. It deals with a lot of like heavy stuff, but there's a lot of love and growth going on. And the production choices and everything just feel really great when you're listening to it, on top of it being just super catchy and super earnest. And so let me just play it a little bit.
Protect your neck, so when you go to aim, make sure it's for the head. So when you go to aim, make sure it's for the head. So when you go to aim, for the head, it's for the head.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the chorus. It's going to be lodged in the back of my fucking brain for the rest of the year. While I'm talking about punks, while I'm talking about folks, I gotta give a major shout out to my dear friend Fanged Fawn, who over the last holiday season released her new album entitled Welcome to Bedford Falls, which is a concept album, one woman drum machine banjo musical about It's a Wonderful Life, suicidality, and the benefits of mutual aid. I don't think I need to say any more about it. Really cool, really interesting, one-of-a-kind record. Highly recommend you pick it up.
Shout out mental illness.
I'm sorry, I have to put that drop in every single episode now. I think only one person has recognized what it's from. Shout out Sky from Faith to Fear for getting the joke. But, you know, shout out mental illness. That's all I'm trying to say. But before we go, I want to talk about one more band. And this is a release that I saw came out last year, but didn't really get around to giving it a spin till early this year, and it's the new record from Utah-based band Paladine entitled Bedlam in the Badlands. And I first came across this band maybe 7 or 8 years ago, right as I was really getting into this notion of gothic folk, for lack of a better term, and I would sort of peruse around specific Bandcamp tags the bands had with that, and I stumbled upon them, and the stuff they did was really cool, very Western infused. And what I love about this record is it sort of takes elements of psych and desert rock and gothic Americana in a really beautiful way. I think it's very easy for people to do those genres sort of as like a cheap pastiche, but Paladine, it really feels sincere, and it feels like the music is really taking you on a journey somewhere. And speaking of focus, we're talking about with the Lesotho record, is their Paladine is a 2-piece band, and so that makes them even more lasered in on this sort of vision. And I don't really like making direct comparisons with bands to other bands or singers to other singers, but this one I thought is a good deep cut, so I'm going to make it. And so Paladine, with the vocally specifically, sort of reminds me of the solo work of Dorothea Cottrell, I think I'm pronouncing that right, the lead singer of stoner doom band Wind to Hand. And I think, like, aesthetically, those artists sort of sit in a similar world, even if the musicality is quite different. So I want to leave you off here with a song from Paladine. But before I do that, I just want to say thank you so much for listening. If there's anything you find here in today's podcast that is new to you, that you've never heard before, that you end up really digging, please let us know. That would make our day. If you have any recommendations for us, if you are working on something, please shoot me a message on Instagram at coffin_salesman, or send an email to aria@thestrugglingartistpodcast.com. And also, one more thing. The Struggling Artist Network is going to begin formal written reviews on our website beginning in 2026. And we are looking for people who might be interested in writing reviews for new music. We're looking for new ears, new voices, not just the same old schmucks. So if you have an interest and you want to hear some new things, want to get writing, let me know. Shoot me a message. And until then, take it easy. You're having a great hair day.
What do the demons dream when they're asleep? Just like see the devil to sleep.